Yo, what's good? What's good, people? What's up with you? How you doing, man? We back with another episode of the Playback Real NFL Wildcard Edition. We've had some close games, a lot of them 4 points, and this game could shape up to be in the same way. But it does go back to one main thing that I've said before, and it's specifically about said specific quarterback, and that is Justin Herbert. This man has had zero playoff wins so far in his three playoff appearances. I think it's three. No wins. Horrible play in just about every last one of them. This game, he's had to run for a lot of his points. But again, it goes back to what I said about the Chargers. They are the Clippers. They are not to be trusted whatsoever. They are there just to make it. That's it. And we see Justin Herbert getting drilled left and right by Patriot defenders. Don't ever put your stock in Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Never. Don't ever do that. And after the day, really don't ever do that. I know I've heard people mention in the past that the Chargers could make the Super Bowl and all this other shit in Madden. That's it. In Madden. This ain't Madden, motherfucker. No. To Justin Herbert, the gatekeeper. He damn near the gatekeeper. I still say that's Baker. He says the PR gonna be OT. I mean, shit. There's nothing you can say at this point anymore for Justin Herbert. Constantly losing every single time they make the playoffs. There's nothing you can say at this point. Unless they want to use the injury angle, but even then, that's a stretch. I feel like it's disrespectful to call him Philip Rivers 2.0. Philip Rivers could actually win playoff games. This nigga ain't done shit. So I don't even want to call him Philip Rivers 2.0. He's not even that. Like, look at this shit. They do have that's I can't even ignore this. They had one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL, actually the worst. They weren't fun to go up in Foxborough and win this game. That just wasn't going to happen. Did you hope the Bears lose next round? You can't stand them, especially Caleb Williams. They got some plans for Caleb Williams, man. Like they got something. They got something going on for him because it is a full circle moment. That whole damn touchdown, or excuse me, not touchdown, long first down. But they got some things as far as it goes for Caleb Williams. It's a full circle moment because Kurt Herbstreit was one of the announcers who was calling his very first college football game when he made his debut in the Red River rivalry when he was at Oklahoma. The very next week, he said Caleb Williams is going to be a star on College Game Day. Fast forward, 5 years later, here he is winning his first playoff game to the Packers, and Kurt Herbstreit is one of the people calling the game. Go fucking figure. On top of that, they was up 21-3. The Packers. They was up 21-3. Bears trailed by 18. Obviously, it's Caleb Williams' number. No reason in the world should the Packers have lost this game. Zero. Homeboy during the post game interview was talking about how the Bears didn't really do shit. He ain't lying. They really didn't. The Packers did everything in their power to make sure that the Bears could stay in the game and win it, even despite Caleb Williams' interceptions. The fumble where the O lineman for the Packers basically chucked the ball to the Bears, and the Bears decided to bat it out of bounds. Same shit. Same shit. This man funny. He should have never been in that conversation in the first place. Let's just start with that. Yeah, there was no point in even bringing up Justin Herbert in the elite conversation because he was never there. So Trevor Lawrence ain't even get a chance for a last minute drive. Yeah, he did, but his receiver goddamn tipped the ball to the Bills to cause him to lose the game. And I mean, shit, you really shouldn't have expected the Jags to win the game. Maybe from a perspective of a lot of people had money on the Bills, sure, but realistically, ratings factor in. You know, goddamn well, you don't want to see Trevor Lawrence in the playoffs. Josh Allen, or Trevor Lawrence. It's an easy pick. Easy pick. The Bills end up winning that game. They made that one dramatic and go down to the wire as well. Made sure to make Josh Allen look like the hero with his 2 rushing touchdowns. The injury angle, B Fire mentioned it earlier on his stream. Yeah, I'm not surprised they won that game. If they had a loss, I'd be super surprised. But I think their time is coming soon, though. Then when they start talking about how good the Bears were in the fourth quarter, you got a couple of dollars on the Bears at plus 900. Yeah, they was plus 900 when they was down 27-16. I don't even think the odds was that generous whenever they was trailing by 18 at halftime. Three points in an entire football game. This game was just really sloppy. I feel like the games today kind of teetered downward. It was like the Jags Bills game had a lot more points, a little bit more entertaining. Eagles and Niners, we had a feeling that was going to be a low scoring game. It was it was meh. Near the end, things ramped up. This game is just trash. I don't care who won. This game was just straight up trash. Point blank. Period. There's no way the Bills win 2 road games. I don't see them making it all the way to the Super Bowl. So why the script writers let a nigga wearing nail polish lead the comeback? You answer your own question. That's why they like him. They like the fact that he one of them light skinned niggas. He more effeminate. He got the nail polish. Like Kurt Herbstreit said years ago, he's gonna be a star. We're seeing it right now in the league. You said the Bears are plus 1,500 at halftime. Okay, damn. But yeah, it's clear they want to make him a star. The Bears are must see TV. They're one of the more exciting teams to watch this year. They find ways to win games, whether it be blowouts, come from behind wins, down to the wire, overtime, walk-offs, you name it, they've won every single type of way. So that's a team to watch out for in the playoffs. 2 Jets former players in the playoffs, solid. Well, coach. I mean, it's the Jets. Who cares? Thought Philly would at least go to the second round. Nobody wants to watch an injured 49ers team. Yeah, they time coming soon too. Especially with that Kittle injury. That did it for him. I will say they did have that exciting play with Jawan Jennings, had the touchdown pass to Christian McCaffrey. I was like, okay, that's what's up. Same shit they did in the Super Bowl. Same play he would run in college. He'd throw to Josh Dobbs for the very same thing. Say it's possible San Francisco gets back again. I'll say their window's been closed for a while. They Super Bowl window closed when they lost to the Chiefs that second time. I don't really see much, especially with how banged up they are. I don't think they're gonna ride this injury angle all the way to the Super Bowl. Yeah, he was. The style of play of the Bears ain't gonna last long. I've noticed this. They have to win games when they force turnovers. I think it's something like they have a winning record. They've won every game when they force at least 2 turnovers. So if that don't happen in the game, that might be a tell that they don't win. If say they don't turn the ball over a lot against the Rams or whatever the case may be. So the Cowboys won the Super Bowl more recently than the Niners. That's bad. That's bad. What's good, Bronze? What up with you? See, the Rams are a bad matchup for the Bears. Yes, they are. That might be the most exciting game of the divisional round. Rams and the Bears. Because there's no reason, speaking of the Rams, that game should have even been close against the Panthers. Like, that should have been a blowout. But I understand why. There's more parity this year. There's a lot of new faces. They want to give that to build up the Panthers, especially considering they beat the Rams the first time. It was so try hard how they had to build it up to make the Panthers look like they could really hang with the Rams. But the Rams ended up winning the game. Should not have been a shock. at the same time, you can't say Bryce Young is a bust. He not. He here. They found their quarterback. They got some pieces. For some reason, they said let's not give Rico Dowdle the ball and stuck to Chuba Hubbard. That nigga gonna be in free agency probably by the start of the week. Broncos, yeah, they a fourth quarter comeback team too. They do it from the craziest shit. Like that 33 points in the fourth quarter against the Giants. Like crazy shit. So they putting out hits for the kickers. McManus. This started before the playoffs, really. Chris Boswell. Let's hope that don't become a whole storyline for the playoffs too for the Steelers. Chris Boswell fuck around and miss some field goals that cost them the game. Something like that. Could have been a foreshadowing whenever they played the Ravens. That somewhere down the line in the playoffs, this shit gonna come back and bite them in the ass. The 27 club theory ended with the Packers scoring 27 points. That's been a theme this whole year. I think a lot of their wins, ironically, came when they scored exactly 27 points. I'm not buying. I never bought into the Bills. No. Don't ask me no shit like that. You know how I feel about the Bills. Fuck them. Think the Rams could win it all again unless they let the Bills get one. I'm done with hypotheticals with the Bills. Point blank period. Fuck hypotheticals with them. Either win that motherfucker or don't. And I'm done doing hypotheticals with the Bills. Win it or don't. Put up or shut up. We pass hypotheticals with them niggas. Plain and simple. Patriots and Chargers game was like the last Super. Don't remind me. That game was trash as fuck. Terrible. Seahawks and Rams NFC Championship game. Seahawks go to the Super Bowl and win. What I think they got a good chance to do it though. Out of the NFC, them and excuse me, Chicago, but one or the other. I feel like one of those two gonna get to the NFC Championship game. Said fuck the Bills and the set they claim. Exactly. Most annoying fan bases. Oh shit, who's annoying? Buffalo Bills. That's up there. Eagles fans are probably the biggest assholes. That's for sure. Cowboys fans, you know, they the kings of the it's our year. They damn near trademarked the shit. But as of right now, I'm gonna say the Bills, man. Can't stand them. I don't like nothing about them. Niners, I don't know a lot of Niners fans to say that. Said division round will be absolute cinema. Oh man, I say NFC for sure. As far as matchups, I'm looking forward to that Niners Seahawks game. Them divisional matchups, especially when it's the third time around in the playoffs, that shit usually have a lot of action packed moments in it. You really can't go wrong with the NFC for real. Rams, Bears, get must see TV. Niners, Seahawks, and then AFC. We just gotta let shit play out. So you're gonna need to call that witch doctor up next week for the Broncos against Josh Allen and the Bills. AJ Brown ain't want to speak to the media. Of course he don't want to speak to the media. Nigga dropped the pass. He sold. Hell no. There's nothing he can say that can make that sound okay. There's nothing he can say where he wouldn't get crucified in the media. He on his way out of that motherfucker anyway. So it's just funny that he's the one that he been bitching and complaining about not getting the ball, and then when he get the ball, when it's time for him to get the ball, he drop it or he sell. Ever? No. One of the greatest of all time, I wouldn't say ever. I think the Niners either get blown out or be a really close game. They've been rocking with these close games so far. This been the exception to the rule. TJ Watt show up. He better if he playing his brother's team. I think the Vikings get a shot at the Super Bowl. Man, why are we talking about the Vikings, bro? Why you ask me about the Minnesota Vikings, bro? You know the answer to that question. Don't ask me that shit. You know the answer to that. Oh yeah, he did. He definitely sold. I don't know what you saw. He definitely overthrew a couple receivers. I was like, all right, I see what the fuck going on. But yeah, that nigga sold though. It's not all on him. A lot of the brunt would go on a certain receiver that we were just talking about. Yeah, they got a horrible run defense. Which it seemed like the Packers, for some reason, quote unquote, would just abandon the run. Knowing they got a sorry ass fucking run defense. To Reggie White or Bruce Smith. Yeah, Minister of Defense, Reggie White, RIP. LaFleur. There was a report that he wasn't with the team on the flight back. That's usually a sign that nigga gone. That nigga cooked. So the fact that Brock Lesnar played preseason football for the Vikings is more proof that shit is scripted. I mean, the nigga is like 260 something pounds, bro. Like, they've been getting players who used to play sports, The Rock. So that ain't really, going I wouldn't say that proves that it's scripted because they found athletes, nigga. That's what they do. They still do that shit. Braun Breaker was on the preseason, was on the practice squad for the Ravens. Back in like 2021, he holds records at Kennesaw State as a fullback. Yes, as a fullback in the 2020s, which is crazy to even say out loud. Who do I think will win the Super Bowl? Yeah, I'll tell you who I got. NFC, I say the Seahawks. AFC, I'm leaning more so Denver. If New England play like they did tonight for the rest of the playoffs, shit, they ain't gonna do nothing. For real. So when quarterbacks overthrow, it's a time issue and really means they not talented enough to improvise. No, it means he saw a receiver open and threw that bitch past him so he couldn't fucking catch it. It's called point shaving. You're waiting on a Josh Allen turnover. Can Fernando Mendoza save the Raiders? Man, fuck no. Hey, ain't nothing saved the Raiders. Derek Carr couldn't even do it. Actually, they made him cry. Pete Carroll couldn't do it. Nothing can save the Raiders. Tom Brady, the so-called GOAT, nothing can save them, bro. Exactly. Better yet, you know what? If you want to save the Raiders, go to Madden, start a franchise, take over the Las Vegas Raiders. You can save them. But in real life, that shit ain't gonna happen. No, a full start over. Do Kraft and Infantino get those $1 million masonry messages? Allegedly. That Seattle versus Denver / Patriots. Super Bowl would be funny as fuck if this happens to, I think, win the game. If the Patriots make it, they losing off rip. Seattle, Denver, it'd probably be the other way around. I think this situation where whoever won the first one, they're gonna have to sell the second. Kind of like the Patriots and Eagles. Patriots won the first one, Eagles won the second one. Yeah, man. I cannot tell you how much I can't wait for them niggas to be gone. Because the Josh Allen glaze has gotten out of hand. It was already bad, but now that there's no other quarterback that the announcers can glaze, specifically Chris Fondlesworth, and Tony Homo, there's no other quarterback they can glaze. Maybe Brock Purdy for Chris Fondlesworth, but that won't last too long. What does a successful season under a new head coach look like for Shadura? That the niggas start the whole fucking season. They win more than 3 games. But again, it's the Browns, so they'll find a way to fuck it up anyway. I believe when I see it. That's where I'm at with that. I will believe when I see it. And if they do lose, especially before they get to the Super Bowl, don't ever bring them niggas up ever again. He like to rep the rainbow community, and they gonna push the Bears at least to the NFC Championship round. He done a lot of historic shit for being there for essentially 2 years. I think he already got some records and stuff like that. So Caleb Williams is definitely somebody they want to put in Chicago Bears lure for what do you want to? How the fuck you say that word? There was really nothing to glaze about Justin Herbert to begin with. Most of it has just been they don't say shit about him. Now that they lost again, there's nothing that can be said to defend him. Unless they use that injury angle, like I said earlier, but I doubt it. The excuses are over with. If Lamar was getting criticized for all his playoff shortcomings, Justin Herbert should get it 3, 4 times worse. Said a Super Bowl winner finna be an NPC quarterback. Man, that was a fun playoffs too. That year, that shit was fun as hell. Got the Jags in the AFC Championship game against the Patriots and shit. Jalen Ramsey had that tweet that got deleted 15 minutes later about how the Jags had to sell the game and all that shit. And that was good. That was good playoffs. Got to see quarterbacks run routes in the Super Bowl. One of them caught a touchdown pass. The other one obviously didn't because he ain't that athletic. Oh yeah, that shit was great. As soon as Purdy and Allen get eliminated, Chris and Romo finna go on vacation early. There was a Cowshe prop bet. I don't even know if it hit or not. That in the mentions during this Sunday night football game, because we know who one of the people calling the game. It was Mahomes gonna get mentioned. I think at one point that shit was like minus 335 or something to start the game. I'm like, it's Chris Collinsworth, but like, damn. But I really haven't heard him say his name, believe it or not, the last couple games. Yes, that was 100% bait when they did that little Jags thing. 100% bait because now the thing is, whenever a pattern gets noticed, they try to quote unquote debunk it. That's why when you see before the game certain patterns and shit that say you might not have heard of or you might have heard of, but it wasn't mainstream yet. Once that shit makes it mainstream, that shit's probably not gonna happen anymore. and then whatever the real pattern was or connection, ESPN or Fox or whoever, then they post it after the fact, after the championship game or whatever the case may be. Damn. Yeah, facts, Lorenzo. I do get asked some stupid questions sometimes. So when's it gonna end for the Niners? I think they next game. Lamar would have been criticized. Nigga, it would have been horrible. It would have been horrible. It would have been like his rookie year when they lost to the Chargers, how he got crucified by the media as a rookie quarterback. It was about his passing, which he addressed that offseason, came back, was an MVP, led the league in touchdown passes and all that shit. But yeah, that Lamar would have been crucified to a whole nother level had they lost 16-3. Which playoff loss did I enjoy? Mm, it's kind of hard not to say the Chargers. Kind of hard not to say the Chargers. I don't really have beef with the Eagles. It's just we know it's gonna be the AJ Brown thing. I ain't got no problem with the Jags. I really wanted to win for real, but yeah, I say the Chargers because I just want to see what the media will do in regards to Justin Herbert. How they gonna handle this situation? I'm not surprised by that at all. He said nobody fucks with the Chargers. You know, it's funny. I see Chargers gear out here. I've never seen anyone pick it up and buy it, but they have Chargers gear out here. It's like we get obviously Titans, Cowboys, Packers, Steelers, Ravens, Chargers, Raiders, occasionally Falcons. They've been cooking, man. They've been cooking so far. You got to keep up the work now. You can't slack off. Don't go full NBA playoffs on us. Keep it up. Need one more game for the wild card. Script writers, don't fuck it up. Y'all kind of fucked up with this one. We let it slide because the other one was good, but this shit was trash. Monday night, y'all got to make it better. Make that shit go down to the wire. Make it almost like the Ravens Steelers game. You ain't the only one hoping that shit, bro. It's the third time Seattle playing the Niners. It's gonna be 2-1 recently, like the Bears versus the Packers. And this was the last team, if I remember, that the Seahawks had played was actually the Niners. Because the Niners beat Seattle, they going to the Super Bowl and getting six. Not with that depleted ass team. Hell no. Hell no. They need way more help than that, bro. No way in hell. There's no in America you can't find a Cowboys fan. That's facts. Same with the Steelers too. Steelers fans are everywhere. Cowboys fans, Steelers fans, they spread all over the country. All over. You got in Atlanta, Cowboys fans. In Tennessee, Cowboys fans. Steelers fans, Memphis. Here, it don't matter where. Shit, probably Baltimore got Steelers fans. I wouldn't be surprised. That's kind of a dangerous city to be doing that, but hey, they out there. Think the Rams losing to the Bears after yesterday's game. When you think about it, Rams already got their Super Bowl anyway. Matt Stafford already got his. I don't think he getting a second one, especially this late in his career. Unless they just really wanted to parallel the Dodgers and what his friend Kershaw did. The only reason they be on Herbert Nick is Skip Bayless when he be on the Gilbert Arenas football podcast. It will be the one nigga nobody really wants to listen to. Oh yeah, he went off on Twitter. Talking about how they lose to a nigga who painted his nails and shit. Herbert have no that nigga has no playoff wins. We ain't even talking about rings. That nigga ain't got a playoff win. We putting the cart before the horse over here. So the Bills' new stadium. Oh, nigga, we already know about that shit. We've heard about that shit already. Say Jags got a new stadium. I heard they want to renovate their shit. I haven't heard them getting a new stadium, but just renovating, adding like a glass roof, kind of like the Titans, Nissan state, the new Nissan Stadium, something like that. Like a lot of teams, Chiefs included, want to move to the glass look. I want to say the Vikings kind of started it. Theirs is shaped differently, but that glassy kind of look. Them, the Falcons, they did it. Um, Obviously SoFi. Allegiant Stadium, not so much. It's not glassy. It still got like I don't know. It got something over it that you can't just clearly see out to the sky like that. I mean, hey, Ben Johnson, just because he left, I mean, damn. The NFL still owes Rodgers for that fake injury. If there's any quarterback post Big Ben to get a win for the Steelers, this the one. The guy who essentially been in the league or came into the league close to the same time as him. What do I think the first international star will be from in the NFL? Probably one of them European countries. I doubt he'll be from Mexico or. Mm, I will. I want to say Australia, but nah. If he a punter or a kicker, probably Australia. But star, it'd be like from like Ireland, Germany, one of them type of places. So they belong in the playoffs. Detroit Bryce. The win totals increased 258. Mm. There was a picture of was on Cam Newton's podcast where they showed a couple years ago the empty ass Bank of Arena Stadium, Bank of America, damn, Bank of America Stadium, where you just see light blue seats everywhere, just specks of people. Then it showed the next year was a little bit more people, and then fast forward to this year during the winter, it was a sellout crowd. I was like, damn, that's dope. I ain't gonna lie. I did like seeing how the Panthers went from absolute terrible ass to playoff team in a matter of 3 years. Dan Campbell, coach treats a bunch of gambling. Oh shit, that's funny. Oh man, he said, "Do I think defensive players get CTE?" Yes. Still got to make contact, of course. That's funny as hell. What does Rodgers have to do tomorrow night to move on? Don't do what he did against the Browns when he was trying to get that ball off in 0.4 seconds. That's what. Because actually, that is something I am a little worried about with that game. If they do win, it'll be like low scoring, ugly as shit. But at least they'll get DK back. With the Steelers, same thing we saw with the Chargers. Chargers had the worst O line in the NFL. It showed tonight. We know about the Texans and what they can do. I think that Aaron Rodgers gonna be under some heat. He gonna be under some heat. It might be like the Caleb Williams shit. He gonna be under some heat. Yeah, the Browns get a new one, but they're the Browns, so it don't really even matter. They're the last team that never won a Super Bowl, but was getting a new stadium the next year. It was the Falcons in 2016. Yeah, they closed it out winning the NFC Championship game against the. I don't remember if it was the Packers or the Seahawks. I think it was the Seahawks. No, it was the Packers because they beat the Seahawks the week before. But anyway, yeah, the Packers, and of course we know about 28-3 after that. Mm, something deeper than that. Malik Willis to the Colts. That's not a bad move. They did it. I doubt the Packers want to get rid of him, but that wouldn't be a bad move. Say Cam Newton's a weird black man. Oh shit. Now I see the picture on X where they had all the quarterbacks. Yes, I did. I did see that. Someone say who's my top 5 favorite Titans of all time. Steve McNair, number one. R.I.P. Favorite football player of all time. Steve McNair. Derek Mason is my top 5. Eddie George, that's 3. Keith Bullock. I actually like Keith Bullock too. Feel like he don't get brought up enough. And Vince Young for his favorites. Honorable mention would be CJ2K. The Niners beat the Seahawks, so I think they're making the Super Bowl with a banged up team. I don't think so. Like, what's the end goal there? Like, they gotta win it. If they do that, they gotta win it. We've seen them lose enough, and it's hard to convince people. Excuse me, this banged up ass team fuck around and win the Super Bowl at home and shit. Like, I don't see it. Why do I think all these NFL current and ex players starting podcast? Because they can make money. What do you mean? Come on, bro. Come on, dog. Don't ask me no shit like that. You know the answer to that. It's a platform. That way they can take narratives and shit in their own hands instead of just going off of what the fuck Stephen A. Smith or whoever the fuck interviewed them is gonna spin the story and say a certain way. They can actually give their side of the story and shit. That'll definitely be a defensive game. Probably be like one of them low scoring games, kind of like today. Closer, but kind of the same thing. And I really don't even care for highly defensive games at night. Like if you gonna have a primetime game, I don't want that shit to be defensive as hell. Say that shit for the daytime. At night, I want to see some points scored. I don't want to see you fucking score 16 fucking points and the other team score 3. Or even if they scored 10, don't do this shit. To RG3. Man, don't get me started on him. Are you convinced they should have been in the Super Bowl this season? That nail in the coffin was when Parsons went down. Why did they have to do Trevor Lawrence dirty? Because it's Trevor Lawrence. Ain't nobody trying to see him like that. He's not. He wouldn't be in must see TV category. Bron's funny as hell. Jags got the number 1 draft pick and a winning season. What more can they ask for? Damn, they did. Damn, they sure did. Thought they were gonna have the Chargers Broncos this part 4. Oh, I guess part 3 for the playoffs. Hell no. Hell no. Nobody wants to see the Chargers like that. I've been trying to say that shit for years. Nobody gets hype and excited to see this Chargers team. This ain't LT. This ain't Phillip Rivers. This ain't Drew Brees. This ain't that. Justin Herbert, that ain't it. Omarion Hampton, that ain't it. So Herbert might as well go to the Vikings. It was 64 degrees. They showed a little kid in the pool and shit. I'm like, damn. It's January. I'm thinking all the other teams like Chicago, Green Bay, it's cold as hell. They talking about snow in the forecast. Philadelphia, we know it's cold up there. New England, Boston, cold as shit. Pittsburgh, cold as hell. Carolina, I don't know what the temperature was. I know it get chilly in Charlotte and shit. I don't know the temperature. But Jack, 64 degrees and sunny as hell. That's a vacation, bro. A whole vacation. Sometimes I wonder about that pool. Like, how clean is that water? Like, does it get sanitized? Because I be seeing different bodies in the pool during the game. All of them, sure, not all of them shower and bathe well. Like, there got to be some dirt in that pool. Like, that pool got to leave a ring at the end of the game. Because you think about it, that's like 3 hours of just soaking in the pool. And you probably sweating alcohol. Like, that shit probably brown. That glass probably brown after the game. Mm. Says raining in Pittsburgh. Cold and rainy. That's my least favorite combination right there. I hate that shit. And they could get their win at home too. To Santa Clara be cold as fuck. Yeah, I heard that. I know it's not technically San Francisco. I heard the hoodie was invented in San Francisco because it's so windy and shit. And denim jeans were invented there too. How you tripping, bro? Can't believe Lamar's almost 30. Shit, all the niggas he came in with, Baker, Pat Mahomes, him. I think Lamar's 29, but obviously round up 30. It is crazy to think that time has flown that fast. That it feels like yesterday when they was rookies. All up Josh Allen. I remember he played. I think his first start was against the Ravens, if I remember correctly. So you want to see Aaron Rodgers have a playoff win? Well, he is one of the must see TV quarterbacks, regardless of how old he is. We think anything below 70 is cold. Would Lamar be in the Dolphins jersey soon? I highly doubt it. I've already said there's a reason owners passed on the nigga when they could have signed him a few years ago. And he had already had an MVP under his belt. Proved that he could pass and all that shit. In his prime without all the injuries piled up. So, no. Think about it. Why else would they have gotten rid of Harbaugh? If it was, say, Harbaugh had stayed, and then we heard something about Lamar, it might have been different, but it's clear ownership picked Lamar over Harbaugh. Do I believe that cap space is a myth? No. It's still a business, dog. Like, I get that it's scripted and all the shit, but it's still a fucking business. I don't understand where that's really what opens the door to some of these fuck ass questions I get about the Super Bowl, like can the Jets go and all this other bullshit. Yes, there's still a cap space. You still have to operate. There's still a business aspect of things that go on with this shit. The same way pro wrestling is scripted, but there's still a business aspect of things. They have to still sell tickets and do this and do that and get sponsorship and all this other shit. Do I think the Rogers rebuilt his image? I think it's too late. He'd have been on Pat McAfee show way too many times. It's too late. He is where he is in that situation with his image. Kind of like Kyrie Irving. There's nothing Kyrie can do to undo all that shit that happened back in 2020 and all. Nah, there's once that stigma is stuck to you, it's really hard to shake that. It's not like some legal shit happened and he could win and people forget about it in the past, like the Ray Lewis with the the knife and you know what I'm saying. Nah, when you get labeled like that, you can't shake that. Like AB there's nothing he can't act normal, quote unquote normal, for 10 years and people forget about that. This we still gonna remember all that shit you were doing when you was wild now. I think they might be one of the worst teams I've seen handle a franchise quarterback retiring. Out of any team I've seen do it. Like hell, the fucking I don't know. Yeah, the Patriots actually didn't do too bad. Even though Brady didn't retire from them, like they didn't do too bad in that whole system. The Steelers, it's like they just didn't do shit. They didn't have any plan. They just wing that shit year after year, just hoping something worked. He would be fried. Tell Lamar gonna get in more trouble. I mean, think about it. We already seen this nigga high as hell, which I don't think it's a big deal that he was high as hell getting two massive plates of food near a food truck. That's whatever. As far as that other shit, yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, him going to Florida. Oh yeah, we would hear that Michael Vick type story. Said Callahan gonna cook in Tampa. Yeah, well shit, he ain't cooking in Nashville, so I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Yeah, that's what did him in. Just like the NFL pushing Caleb to be the next one up. This is kind of like the Jaden Daniels shit. That's really more what it is. I don't think it's going to be the same thing where he faces all these injuries the very next season, but it's the same shit. Jaden Daniels lit the NFL on fire last year as a rookie. Got so far as the NFC Championship game. Ironically, Caleb Williams was in from that same draft class. Mind you, they had their matchup with the Hail Mary last year. This year, Bears got their revenge. Had the Monday Night Football game. Kind of the same shit where they might go to the NFC Championship game, lose, but he's established now as a star in the league. So they still don't paint the negative narrative of Herbert and Lawrence. I've heard Lawrence be called a bust before. Justin Herbert, the only one they don't say shit about. NFL would never let a painted nail nigga Peter one up. He won the Heisman and that's it. More importantly, he plays for the Bears. The next one, Drake May. Maybe, man. Maybe. I don't know about winning the whole Super Bowl. No, but star, he gonna be consistently doing his thing in the league. Drake May definitely one of them. This was really what it was like a whole youth movement for the NFL, especially when you got quarterbacks like Lamar out of the way, Burrow out the way, Mahomes out the way. Let's see, you got. I don't really count Trevor Lawrence in part of this youth movement. He's been around long enough. He's been to the playoffs before. We know about Josh Allen, Brock Purdy, Hurts. But the youth movement really starts with Drake May. CJ's been consistently in the playoffs too. Bryce Young and Caleb Williams. That's really been the main three they kind of established in some way, shape, or form. Caleb Limit is the NFC. Limit is the NFC Championship. NFL not really fucking with the Bears. Y'all, I mentioned that before. They don't really fuck with the Bears that damn much. That's why they would like breadcrumb them. It's like, yeah, here's a Super Bowl appearance. Here's that Super Bowl appearance. It might be like 20, 30 years apart. Here's another one. But the rest in between be them being trash. Oh, yeah, talking about AJ Brown dropping that ball. And just how the whole second half the Eagles just forget how to do things offensively. They start doing all these questionable ass play calls or just stagnant. What's what I'm looking for? Stagnant ball movement. That's really the main thing. Like when you see Saquon Barkley running into offense, his own offensive lineman and shit, that should tell you something. That should tell you they not trying to score. Said Detroit supported them. Cold world, man. Like Lawrence played on a blue blood organization, he'd get more recognition. And Jags Wasteland not doing him any favors. Hell no, it ain't. That's what I thought whenever I saw Travis Hunter going there. I was like, sure, you could make yourself a star, but it's like you do with the Jags, bro. Like, I don't know Jags fans at all. I've never met a single Jags fan. Apparently they exist when they start winning, but I've never heard of it. Seen one. Yep, that's true. They are working on something to become it's so stupid. The Chicago Bears of Indiana. It just sounds so dumb. It's like the New Orleans, Oklahoma City Hornets when they had to move after Katrina. It is what are we doing? And Indiana don't need two football teams, more importantly. To nothing but vice lords. Shit. I know some Mike Jack from Freddie Gibbs. That's all I know about Gary, Indiana. And I heard his hood as fuck too. I don't know if they got nice areas, but I heard that motherfucker hood as hell. Do I think Caleb and the Bears will ever win a Super Bowl? I don't see it. I don't see it with the Bears. Caleb on another team, like say in the alternate universe, this nigga was played for the Rams. Matt Stafford was gone, all that shit. Then we could have that conversation. Of sure, I could see Caleb Williams winning one in LA and all that shit, but not with the Bears. Hell, down the line, he might be one of them type of quarterbacks. It has to be Rams, Seahawks who won the Super Bowl for the NFC. AFC, you really don't know, which makes it fun. I'm just hoping one specific team loses because then it really gets interesting as to who can make it. Kind of kills any type of assumed predictability out of it. I agree with that. He do give me like a little bit of Russell Wilson vibes, except he don't try to be like overly fake. So you just hope the Bears stay in Illinois. Their whole situation is just weird as far as what they initially want to do was move the stadium still in Illinois, but in like the suburbs, they had to run through a whole bunch of city permitting stuff. Then it was like they maybe wanted to renovate the stadium, add columns, something to do with wind and city ordinance and all this shit. And then now it's they want to move to Indiana to be the Chicago Bears of Indiana. I don't know. It's kind of like watching how the Redskins were trying to finesse their whole new stadium shit, where it's like once you hear one story, then you hear another story saying something else, and this whole back and forth for years. Yeah, it's I just need to see some official shit, really, not just proposed stuff at this point. You got that bottle of Henny. Hell yeah. What is my favorite food? Mac and cheese is my favorite food. Homemade, specifically homemade mac and cheese, my favorite food. What's good, Rashad? What up with you? He said, "Hope the Titans get more MHJ because he's not staying in Arizona." I don't blame nobody want to stay in Arizona. So you stayed 2 days in Gary, Indiana as a trucker and nothing there. Damn. Mm. All right, yeah, that's the last one. He said Bears leaving Chicago might be more heartbreaking than the Chargers leaving San Diego for LA. Yeah, because like I know a lot of people in Chicago, all of them like the Bears. And it's like it's a big let me rephrase that. It's a big overall market. It's normal to have a Chicago team in every sport, whether it be hockey, basketball, baseball, two of them, football. It's normal, and then to not see a Chicago team in football when one of the biggest rivalries in the NFL is Packers and Bears and shit. It's just weird, bro. It's like I don't know. It's like the equivalent of what the NIL is doing to college football, taking what little bit of tradition and shit was left, just ripping it away. Spaghetti, that's up there too. Homemade spaghetti. Any of this shit like mac and cheese spaghetti, it's all got to be homemade. None of that shit can be store bought. No, homemade. Who got winning the Natty? I got Indiana, but I do not like how the fuck they won that game on Friday. I don't like what they trying to do, which is trying to get everybody to get on Indiana because Indiana had the dominant win over Oregon compared to Ole Miss's, or not, excuse me, not Ole Miss. Miami's closer win over Ole Miss. I see what the fuck they was trying to set up with that shit. I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. I wish both games was close so this wouldn't have happened. I'm still saying Miami, but I could obviously see Cristobal, the former Miami player, winning in their home stadium with the motherfucking team he played for and shit, and then the Carson Beck shit. But no, I'm sticking with Indiana, the team full of grown ass niggas. Apparently, none of their players are under the age of 21, and that's part of the reason they've been whooping ass too. Is they grown ups. Baked mac on stove top. I like the shit baked. Stove top ain't bad, but baked, man. Baked mac and cheese. Make it a little bit. Make it slightly crispy on top with the cheese on top of the mac and cheese, if that makes sense. But yeah, man, I'm finna slide up out of here. Have fun chopping it up. I'll be back tomorrow, I guess today technically, for Monday Night Football Wild Card Edition. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. Say no to drugs, drink water, wear condoms, all that good stuff. Wash your hands. We out.